spoke to David, it was just all, I'm ready for this, basically what it boiled down to. But my challenges were great. I was having some inner fears and some thoughts that were basically disbelief. I was basically in a suffering state, as we call it. I was on the verge of actually quitting my business. I had just come off of my worst year financially, but I was challenged by initially the cost. And I was thinking, am I going to be able to do this? But then something in my mind said, this may be the best thing that ever happened to you. And at that point, I made up in my mind that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this program. And the only thing that I could think of was one quote that I heard earlier in January when I started the initial program. It was, you have to ride the bike in order to be a bike rider. And I felt like that the only way that this is going to really truly happen is if I get in the program. So that was when I made up in my mind to be unstoppable. David talked early on about now money. We do have in my program the kind of things that make me that kind of money. But it was so funny when I initially got into the program, and after that week, those 3 days of events transpired, I came back home with an attitude that I didn't even realize. That attitude was one of being in a beautiful state. It was not in a suffering state. And when I went to the gym that very first day, I met 2 clients that ended up being extremely tangible as far as the results of what we did with those clients. And from that point, it has been like, hey, I'm gonna keep this going. And so that's what we've done. We've actually changed our whole mindset. We have a group of affirmations that we're doing, and we're experiencing and living into those affirmations. We're actually visualizing it and experiencing the results of my affirmations. Landmark education was a big part of something that I did early on, about 5 years ago. It was transformational also, but being a part of that program, I learned about how to have breakthroughs. I learned about how to be unstoppable, but having the mechanism to do that, that's what excited me about David himself, was that he had done so much work on himself that I thought, well, if he can do that much on himself, then what can I do with having him as a coach? And that's kind of the way I looked at it, was, can I have him as a coach? Can I have him as someone who's directing me to change my mindset? And that was the essence of it. My business now is running at a consistent basis. I'm getting now tangible monetary results to the nature of about from $1,500 to $3,000 a week. And that's due to staying in this mindset. I'm visualizing and experiencing. And when those ideas come to my mind, I put them into action. There's no